This episode of Ridin The Line is brought to you by Specialized. Right now, the Levo lineup is dialed. 3 bikes, 3 different missions. Ross has been on the new Levo R Rally, and that thing is what most riders actually need. Full power, lighter, more agile, and way more fun on everyday trail. The Levo 4 is still the benchmark for power, range, and all-around capability. And then there's the new Levo 4 Evo. It's a straight up electronic enduro bike, built for when things get steep, fast, and rough, but still climbs like it should. Head over to specialized.com and find your nearest retailer to check them out. All right, let's get to it. Enjoy the podcast. Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. What's going on? Welcome back to Ridin' the Line with your hosts, Ross Moncton and Mr. Kason Smith. We're happy to have you guys with us. We got a great show today, but I do want to take a quick second, and I want to give a little shout out to all the moms out there. I know we just celebrated Mother's Day. Myself and Leah and my mom and dad went up to Nantahala. We ate some lunch out by the river. Took a little nice mountain drive up there. So all those moms out there, we want to thank you guys for supporting us, making us the young and middle-aged adults that we are today. Right? I guess I got to throw that in there. So thank you to all the moms out there. From the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate everything that you have done, continue to do for us. So thank you guys for that. So let's dive right into it. I know we've had a few guests that have been some good friends of mine outside the mountain biking world as of late. But today, we have a gentleman that I have not had the pleasure to meet until about, 3-4 minutes ago. So Kason, tell us a little bit about this guy. Yeah, man, super stoked to bring this guy on. He has been a friend of mine in the industry since I even started in the industry. Actually, one of the first folks I met getting into the bicycle shop. And it's Mr. Matt Stahl, man. He was at Free Flight when I first started Free Flight Bicycles here in Metro Atlanta. And he ran our Sandy Springs store for quite some time. And then ended up moving out to Charlotte, which I've actually visited him out in Charlotte as well at his current job at Bicycle Sport Charlotte, which he's been there for quite some time now. So we'll definitely dive into that. But yeah, also a badass dude on a bicycle. I think Matt's about 8 feet tall, maybe 9 feet tall, and he can still, spin a full size mountain bike. And a freaking killer on a BMX bike too. The man behind the Mainline stuff and all of that. So lots to talk about, but welcome to the show, Matt.
Appreciate you having me on. Awesome to be here.
Yeah, brother. So dive right into it, man. I kind of want to hear your backstory, man, because I've actually never, you and I haven't really had much time to speak about some stuff, but I kind of want to know, man, what got you into bicycles. I know I really want to hear about your BMX days, and kind of a short synopsis of that.
Yeah, so I grew up in a neighborhood south of Atlanta that was technically never finished. We had these 2 dirt lots that were just kind of side by side, and they backed up to a bunch of shared property. Just we had a couple lakes in the neighborhood and stuff. It sounds fancier than it really was. Very, very, just middle class. But there was a group of kids, they were older kids that had BMX bikes and 4-wheelers and stuff, and they were building little jumps and things just on these dirt lots. And I mean, I remember being really young and just like, man, that's cool. I kind of want to go jump that stuff. And I had a Murray, little 20-inch Murray at the time that was just a piece of junk, and took it out there and started jumping stuff. And then I think it was middle school. I asked for a BMX bike for my birthday, and I got a Redline. And it wasn't really a high-end one. It was kind of a lower-end one. So it wasn't full chromoly. It had the little frame standers up at the seat tube. I mean, this was late 90s, early 2000s. level BMX stuff. And that was my BMX bike for years until the rear end went like this from doing grinds. And then I had to get a new one. So that's kind of where it started, was just jumping stuff in the neighborhood. A good friend of mine, really old friend of mine, they moved into the neighborhood right around the time I was in middle school, and he was into skating, skateboarding, BMX, like anything that was kind of that action sports thing at the time he was into. And he had a couple jumps in his backyard. He had a big grind box, some other stuff. And I was just like, you're cool. Like, I want to hang out with you and learn to do those things. That was kind of the beginning of it. And we were lucky enough that where I grew up, we had the Peachtree City BMX track not too far.
Nice.
In, I think it was 1999, Clone Skate Park opened up in Fayetteville, which was this little indoor park. It was run by a guy named Rob Potter, who was a double A BMX pro for a while. I think he still lives in Fayetteville. He may have moved. I haven't talked to him in many, many years, but Cloned was my home away from home. Then we had Factory Skate Park, and it started to be, Georgia was that place where there was a bunch of indoor parks, bunch of places to ride, and it just kind of snowballed. And I've been riding little kids' bikes ever since. I mean, it was just fun. I just never stopped doing it until a couple years ago when I hurt my back real bad. So that's when I fully transitioned into mountain bike rider.
Okay.
Yeah, so that transition to mountain bikes is pretty wild, because like the things, like, honestly, man, the things you do on a mountain bike make me feel like I like, I'm like, dude, this mountain bike feels so big. Like, you're riding like the 29er, a 27.5 bike, and still, like, again, like, you're still doing 360s on these things. You're throwing down some of these like BMX tricks that I could only wish I could do on a 20-inch. And so, like, dude, talking about like that transition of like relearning these tricks on the big bikes, it looks like you're still shredding it, the bike. And yeah, talk about that a little bit, of like going from the BMX bike to the mountain bike and such.
So my BMX bikes were not normal BMX bikes. They were 22-inch wheels, bigger frames. So they were already kind of sized proportionally to me. And that makes a huge difference. So moving into the mountain bike world, it was okay. The balance points are different. There's a lot more leverage that you can use for certain things. Some of the clips that are out there that look like, oh man, he makes that look easy. No, I was struggling to get any of those done. The tree rides, lawn mowers, lots of little fakey slider maneuvers and stuff like that. No, it's difficult on a mountain bike, and if anybody says it's easy, they're lying to you. But I think just the years of riding BMX and learning bike control and having, the ability to know where to place your wheel, doing some of this stuff, and, having that confidence from that world definitely translates over. I'd say the biggest thing is getting over the suspension. It's not even the wheel size, it's not the frame size. It's that give the suspension has. Because when you go up to do like the tree ride to 180 that I have on my Instagram somewhere, I tried that for probably 2 or 3 weeks up until that session, trying to figure out what was up, how to get it right. And I was like, well, this just sucks. I've done stuff, but this one's just really hard for some reason. So I was just like, cranked my compression all the way up and went for it and bounced off the tree like a little bouncy ball you had as a kid, and was like, holy crap, okay, that was way too much. It was like hitting a trampoline. So I dialed it back down, and it was just full muscle. I just smashed into the tree and ripped myself off of it as hard as I could, and it just worked out. But definitely having that background from riding BMX bikes, it does make the mountain bike side easier, because you already know how to jump. You already have the bike handling skill. Because the mountain bike is so much bigger and you've got the suspension, everything, it's so much more forgiving. You don't have to be nearly as precise with what you're doing. You've got just this huge, margin of error. You can land sideways and not blow up and, get completely wrecked. So, not like with BMX, where if you land even a little bit sideways on something, like if you're trying to spin a 3 or a 720, which I've tried 720s on mountain bikes, they haven't gone super well for me.
Ooh.
It's one of those things where the mountain bike does make certain things easier, but again, because the balance points are different, it's hard at the same time. It's a weird dynamic.
How many wheels did you go through trying 720s?
None actually.
Really?
No, because the spin would come around, I would get past 540, and I knew it wasn't going to come around the rest of the way, so I just ditched it.
Yeah,
I've only been through, in the last 5 years, I've been through 3 wheels. That's it.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Pretty good.
Yeah. 2 rears, 1 front. So
yeah, that's pretty good, dude. Honestly, for the amount of spins you do, I would assume more.
I always tell people, ride light, your parts will last longer.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Well, before we get too far from like the early days in BMX and stuff, I want to talk about Mainline and what it was and how that came about. Because I believe this was kind of still going at the time you were at Free Flight. So kind of talk about that a little bit, man.
It was a little side project I wanted to do, just doing like t-shirts and stuff, and I had grand plans to do other stuff with it as well, but at the time my wife and I were just dirt poor and we didn't have tons of money to pour into it, but I just wanted to do something on my own, try to figure out some different things. And it was a great learning experience from like a graphic design type of thing, learning how to use different softwares and different things to actually create logos and art graphics and whatnot. So it was pretty cool. I ended up doing some freelance work because I owned the name Mainline. I was able to do some different things and did some freelance work for some other companies, building logos and stuff for them, which was pretty cool. But had a web store for a while, actually sold quite a bit of stuff through the web store over the years that I had it. Had a crew of riders that were way better than me that were repping the stuff for a little while there. Zach Kring was one of them. Ben Weaver, Tommy Mile, like that whole Atlanta crew, a bunch of those guys were on it. Had a couple of guys up here in North Carolina that were pretty good that were repping the stuff, and it was just something fun, I had grand plans to do something bigger with it, but didn't have the money and didn't really have the time or the focus for it at the time. So it's just kind of faded off into the ether. I still have everything. I could easily just hit go again and restart it, but again, time is precious when you're working and trying to do things, and you're chasing down a 1-year-old who's learning how to walk, and life is very compact now, so I have to use my time wisely.
100%. Well, so transitioning your time in Georgia, man, like going from Georgia up to North Carolina, like what was that decision like? Was it a tough decision, especially, taking your lady, and then starting a new life up there? And I heard some rumors that, you may be coming back.
So yeah, we had originally, before we even moved back to Georgia, we were up in West Virginia for a while for my previous job, long time ago. And we came back to Georgia for that job because we were reconsolidating the company and doing some things. Well, turns out the company went bust and I had to look for work. So I got back into the cycling industry. But the whole goal was originally going to be North Carolina. We were trying to move to Raleigh for years because Raleigh's a really great town. I've got some good friends there. It's a very family-friendly town. And I love it there. I don't know why. It's just one of those places that just feels like home every time I'm there. But it didn't work out. We ended up being in Atlanta for much, much longer. And I mean, Atlanta is just a rough place to be if you don't have an established job already, And I think everybody that's within the cycling industry knows that you're not getting rich off working in the cycling industry. And we were just in a place where we weren't really being able to put money away every month. It was really difficult for us. And it's like, we got married in 2019 and we're like, okay, eventually we're going to want to start a family. Georgia's not it right now. We're not making the money. We're not happy here. Things just aren't aligning. And then an opportunity came up through a customer of mine to go work at Bicycle Sport. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get a pay raise. we're going to be in a state that's got a lot more to offer. Let's do it. And my wife's job at the time was like, oh yeah, we have an office there. Go ahead. It's all good. So it was a
There you
very
go.
difficult thing to leave friends and family. But at the same time, we had that van packed in a few days and we were on the road. Like it was, you know, we're out of here. So it was very easy just to get up here and make that transition to North Carolina, but it was difficult to leave people behind.
And so you're in Charlotte, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And so what with bicycle sport, what's your role there? What you've been doing with them? Yeah, tell us a little bit about Charlotte time.
Charlotte is a rad city. If you guys or anybody listening hasn't ever been to Charlotte, I highly recommend visiting. It's like in Atlanta, but condensed. It's got everything you want, every different little neighborhood, everything funky, but it's got a extremely, extremely active cycling scene, whether you're into mountain biking, road biking, gravel biking, whatever. There is a group or a group ride or a clique or a club or something for you. So I came up to work at Bicycle Sport, which is, and I'm going to say it because I work there, but also because I actually think it the best shop in Charlotte because we do the most brands, do all the custom stuff. If you're into any of like the bike porn Instagram pages, that's the stuff that we do at Charlotte
Mhm.
at Bicycle Sport. Currently I've got a Colnago Y1 RS frame that's just got back from paint. So it's a $7,500 frame. They got a $5,000 paint scheme, putting $6,500 wheels on it and can't be 13 speed. And that's just a Tuesday for us. We do more custom builds than every bike shop I've worked for previously combined and multiplied to the nth degree. Like it's just insane the clientele that come through the door there. And it's just everything. It's like, oh, I want to spend $15,000 on an Envy. Okay, great. I want to spend $20,000 on a Colnago. Sweet, let's make it happen. You know what? I want a Project One. Good for you. I really want a Cannondale Evo. Let's make it pimp. That's just what we do, and it's been a really really fun place over the last 5 years. And my role has been I don't even know what my role is because I wear every hat. Um, I'm a sales guy. I'm a purchaser. I'm a receiving guy. I'm a transfer guy. I'm a tech when it needs to be. I'm the check-in guy. I call myself a glorified janitor because I feel like all I really do is just clean up all the messes that happen, no matter what it is, whether it's, crap, that frame came back from paint. It's the wrong color. I go fix that. Or, oh, somebody did something wrong in the system. I go fix that. So, um, I just do everything. I mean, I don't have a set role, but I guess buyer and receiving and inventory management is technically what I do the most of. But yeah, if there's a hat, I wear it, even though I'm not wearing a hat right now. So
Where in what part of Charlotte were you located in? Cause and I'm just curious because my middle and high school career, I went to Charlotte Latin, so I was down in the Pineville Matthews area. So it was pretty sick. We were, if you know where Calvary Church is, the big pink church off of
oh, yeah.
51. So I live right across the street from there in Ray Woods, and
Oh, nice.
we were there, and so it's really funny because we were there at the time when literally all the houses in the back of the neighborhood were going up. So we had those same dirt lots where we're making kickers off the sides of and using extra plywood and whatever to make kickers around the houses. And it was pretty sweet because there was a right of way right behind our house. I had like an XR100 and I had like a KX125,
Nice.
so I had like 5-7 miles of trail back in this floodplain right back there. And now it's a greenway. If you're going over the bridge right there on Pineville, you see the greenway coming under. But yeah, we used to go rip moto back there, and so that's why I kind of have the interest in Charlotte. But also like that same thing growing up, kind of what gets you into bikes, man. You have your friends and you're going and
Yep.
jumping dirt lots that are being built, hoping you don't land in a pile of nails. Um,
Oh, yeah. So
yeah,
we actually
having
live right behind the Arboretum. So we're in that what is
yeah,
it, Raintree? Yeah. So we live in Raintree,
yeah,
the
in
golf
Raintree.
community. Yeah. So
Yeah, I played some golf over at Raintree when I was there with my dad. So that's
nice.
really small world, man. That's cool.
Yeah, we love Charlotte. I mean, it's a great city, and we've really enjoyed our time there because I mean, right now we're sitting on Oak Island, out here on the coast, and it's 3 hours to the coast. You're an hour and a half to the mountains, 2 hours to the mountains. It's easy to get wherever you need to go, but I mean, it's just a good place to be, you know. So it sucks to a degree that we're entertaining some things because we've made a lot of good friends here and we've got some really good relationships here, and it's really, really nice place to live. But at the same time, you know, when opportunity knocks, if you don't answer it, you never know. So
And so you're looking at coming back to Atlanta. Is that like a set in stone kind of thing, or
I'd say it's 95% set in stone.
okay?
I'm going to apologize here. I think the trash truck is coming by and you might get out for a moment. So yeah, we're kind of at a point where I kind of have honored my agreement to my current boss. Oh, here's trash truck. Pause for the trash truck. Man, that thing's serious.
Well,
You just
I
reminded
can.
me. I gotta get my trash cans out as soon as we finish this podcast because I forgot to do it yesterday. So I was like, that's a good reminder.
That's the cleanest trash truck I've ever seen. Good
Dang.
Lord. Um, sorry to put that in the podcast. This will be the shittiest podcast yet.
No, dude, they're all pretty freaking loose.
So when
We didn't one that we just didn't record the guest the entire hour and a half. So
that sucks.
Then yeah, on on that note, it was my last week. I wasn't in house because I had almost a trash truck. It was like a big old moving van. It took down all the wire, like the power lines that went across our street. Our ring camera got it on. We got it on video, and the whole power pole, it ripped that thing down, dude. So my
Jeez.
house and my neighbor's house, like what, an hour and a half before we go to podcast, is just like black. And as you can tell, this garage ain't got no lights. Um, so, so yeah, that's what I missed last week.
Oh
But go
man.
ahead, carry on.
So when we were looking to move up to Charlotte, you know, meeting with the owner of Bicycle Sport, Ben Cooley, super good guy. You know, he helped us a lot of the way with that, which was really nice. He kind of asked me, he's like, you know, what's your long term? What's this look like? I was like, realistically, you know, 5 years. You know, that was 2020. Here we are, 2026. I kind of feel like I've obligated, you know, that obligation I had has been fulfilled now. And we've done some really good things. We've grown the business. We've definitely made an impact in the local community. Like, I look at Google reviews as a couple of different things. Like, no, we're not the highest rated Google review shop in the area. But when you think about the amount of people that are riding around on a bike that we built, and you go to a group ride or you go somewhere, you either see somebody on a bike that they got from Bicycle Sport or you see somebody on a Bike Source Specialized, because we have a specialized owned store right there. And there's other shops, but that's the majority of where it is because our shop's located in Myers Park, right there by South Park Mall. You know, super high end neighborhoods,
I was gonna
multi-million
say
dollar
that defines your
homes.
clientele right there. Yeah.
God, like if you're in the market for a used bike, come see me because there's probably a chance I've got a $20,000 bike sitting on my floor that somebody rode for 4 months that's now half price
Yeah, it was 10 grand.
and looks brand new.
Yeah, 10 grand, dude. That's crazy.
And that's the thing is like we get so much of this crazy turnover of super high end bikes that we get people that come in that want to spend $4, $5, $6,000 on something crazy nice. But what's crazy nice nowadays is 20 grand. There he goes. Yeah, thanks for interrupting the audio there. So we get these people like on a dream bike for way less money, and it's just been a really cool place to work. It's completely different from Free Flight or when I was at Peachtree Bikes or whatever it was. It's a completely different store, and it's been really, really fun. It's just I'm at a point now where got a kid. Some things have come up to where now it's like, all right, maybe we do need to get back to Georgia, and it's like, I think I've done my time. It's time for that next chapter. What does that look like?
Yeah,
All right.
I don't know what I was about to say. I like lost my train of thought. I knew exactly where I was gonna go, and then I like.
Well, I'm going to blame the trap guy for that
Yeah.
one. So we can start fresh wherever you want to go.
So, are you? I don't know. We don't have to talk about exactly what you're doing seems like not something you're ready to talk about. But where are you gonna? Do you know where you're gonna live at?
So we've been entertaining basically anywhere from 400 to 75 north, basically that whole corridor
Yeah,
there. So we used to live in Roswell,
in the
Sandy
V.
Spring. Yeah. And we really liked Roswell a lot because you got Big Creek, you've got the river, there's just a lot of outdoor stuff there. Downtown Roswell's super nice. Just go hang out, walk around, drink beer on the streets. It's a good time. But we also really like Woodstock. Woodstock's pretty
Mhm.
rad. You know, it's you got good schools over there. The downtown's nice. It seems like a really family friendly space. So we're kind of looking at those areas pretty heavily. We actually, it was the day before yesterday, we had a video call with a daycare, you know, parent stuff, daycare interviews and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it seemed really nice. I was like, holy crap, they got dinosaurs for these kids to play on. Like, that's awesome, you know? Um, so that's kind of where we're
Yeah, your
where we're
bikes.
looking. And I don't know. We're trying. I mean, we're shooting for kind of an August timeline. It's kind of a loose timeline
Okay.
at this point, but
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting. I mean, we've told a few people. I mean, now telling everybody that listens to this that we're, you know, probably moving back. I know a bunch of people are going to be excited that I'm back. My buddy Peter Waldeck is about to shit his pants. He's so freaking happy I'm coming back. So I don't know if you've met Pete Waldeck. He's a lot of energy. He's a big dude and he rips on a mountain bike as well.
Well, I know Pete. I know Pete. Yeah. It's
Pete's
hard
an
not to know
old
Pete.
homie.
Dude.
Yeah, he's back in the Peachtree City days riding BMX. I mean, that'd be another good one. Get Pete and I on here. We can tell you some stories.
Oh yeah.
That's
That,
solid.
That'd be a fun
Well,
one.
dude, that's a great place to be looking because I know kind of Cason's a little farther west, but I'm downtown. I'm in East Atlanta Village, and so we've had, if you've listened to past podcasts, you've heard me bitch and moan about it. But yeah, we're actually looking up in like that Ball Ground Canton area, and it's cool, kind of transferring from, you know, housing to more like just the trail systems that are up there now. I don't know if you've been back or seen everything like Alatoona Creek, Pittner. Blankets has expanded a ton. We got Rope Mill up there. What's the one over by you, Kason? Mountain blah blah blah. Yeah, Wilderness Camp, Pine Mountain. There's
It's
so much
insane.
good stuff that's up there now. It's absolutely wild. So that's cool to hear that you're coming back. But I wanted to transition a little bit to I did kind of I did Kaysen does the deep dives. I do the shallow dives, I suppose, into into your Instagram. And there was two things that I saw on there that were really interesting. One I got a little bit of perspective on is your riding style, man. Just watching the way that that you, as a really big dude, handle the bike. Um, you've got a whole lot of like flow and style to the way that you ride, which is super cool. And like I love, now that I heard you talking about like grinding the bike and stuff like that. All the little the rear tire taps that you're doing, those rear tire slides on the mountain bike, dude, they look so freaking good, dude. I was like, oh man, I was like a little bit jealous. I was like, all right, I got to start moving the bike around a little bit more. They look sweet. But let's talk about the trail systems that are up there in Charlotte, because there's a bunch of really cool stuff that is flowy, jump line, kind of that transition. It's like free ride esque. Talk about a little of those trail systems and kind of how those like kind of define mountain biking for you a little bit up there.
So Charlotte's kind of weird. This is actually probably a good topic because I don't know if you guys know or not. I've been part of the Tar Heel Trailblazers, which is like
Yeah.
Rambo,
Okay.
MTB and all that. Um, I got involved very quickly after moving up here with that group because Charlotte was a very heavy cross country town for a long, long time. There's like 170 miles worth of cross country, different kind of stuff up here. And then just within the last 5 or 6 ish years, I'm going to say trailblazers, not me, but I'm going to say trailblazers because they had these plans in place before I came on board. But within that last period, we built Airline Bike Park. We built Cedar Valley Bike Park, which that's actually a little bit older. Cedar Valley's kind of a different kind of place, but it's got some pretty neat stuff. Rocky Branch Park out in Belmont. It's got some jumpy stuff like that. Colonel Francis Beatty has a pump track jump line thing that we're actually in the process. I'm building a plan for to revamp that. Because it didn't turn out the way we wanted the first time, but it was really fun. It's been morphing as I think as mountain biking has been changing, and feel like mountain biking is following BMX to a degree, but it's just 10 years behind. I'll get into that in a second. But as the sport is changing, trail building is changing. What people want to see on their trails is changing. So the Trailblazers, right before I came on board, they did this huge survey to figure out, okay, what do you people want to see built? And it was overwhelmingly flow lines, jump trails, features, that kind of stuff, right? We have the US Whitewater Center here that used to have like 50 something miles. It's not ever maintained very well because they don't give a shit about mountain biking. But that's always a big draw for new riders. So like if you add that into everything else, there's like 200 plus miles of trail to ride in Charlotte. Me being the BMX guy, I'm not much of a peddler. I like shuttle parks a lot. There wasn't really a whole lot for me to ride, but I got out and rode it all and found little, there's a little jibby thing over here. There's a little kicker over there that I can ride. And I started finding that kind of stuff. And then I found Airline. They finally opened Airline to the public. And that was I think that was 2021. It's about a year or so after I'd been up here that they kind of opened it to the public. And it's like, okay, this is the first place to actually have decent sized jumps on the south side of town where I live. On the north side, Cedar Valley had a big jump line with a big drop, bunch of flow trails and stuff like that. And that was kind of the only place to go for a long time if you wanted to hit any jumps, like big jumps. So when Airline opened, that was game changer. And I spent a ton of time there, ended up getting involved with the club, helping out a lot there and turning it into what it is now. And I'm sure like half the videos I post are from Airline because I'm too busy to really get out and ride anywhere other than that. It's 20 minutes from my
And
house.
where I don't want to stop you, but where are they located? Like what part of Charlotte? Just so if people are up there, then they know.
Right. So it's actually just a couple miles from the airport. So if you're looking at the map,
Okay.
the airport's kind
Cool.
of on the west side of Charlotte. It's right there on the river off like Dixie River Road. There's actually a huge neighborhood development going up around it, which is a point of contention and high blood pressure for me currently. Won't be my problem for much longer. But it was a really cool place. So it started out as a mountain bike park, but in the last 2 years, we added just like huge, monstrous BMX jumps to it. A bunch of the BMX guys here locally built that. They're big, like they're properly big and properly scary. I haven't hit them. I haven't really touched a BMX bike in a couple years. I mean, it's in there, but I don't want to go and try to unpack that right now. I'm old. I'm fat from being a dad now, and I'm getting kind of stiff. But it's like that place has just grown so much. It's kind of cultivated this new generation of riders where I would say 5 years ago, everybody was playing catch up to me. Everybody finally caught up to me because the riding finally elevated itself to a point where there was room for these kids to progress and learn these skills and get better. There's some wild little shredders around here. It blows my mind daily to see how good these kids are getting. And I think that has a lot to do with the expansion of trail systems and building new stuff constantly. It's been a really fun ride to be on and witness.
Heck yeah. Right on.
So. Yeah, I had always noticed like you posting stuff from Airline all the time. It seems pretty sick, dude. Like I rode for like that small weekend in Charlotte, and then I went up there for Supercross, and I love that city, man. It's like it's so cool how everything's connected in a way, like just sitting there.
Easy to get around.
Greenwood. Yeah.
Charlotte people always complain about the traffic. They have no fucking clue about traffic here. Like there are areas that are bad, but the whole place isn't just a vortex of suck. I mean, it's pretty interesting to hear people in Charlotte complain about traffic. But it's a great place.
Atlanta.
And I mean, it's very interesting now, having been back to Georgia a couple times recently, to see and now being involved with the Trailblazers, and Sorbo as a whole, like Georgia is exploding right now. I mean, all the work that happened at Big Creek recently, all the stuff that's happening on the south side of the city, there's more stuff happening there. That crazy project on the west side over by the that's going on, that $15 million project, and all the stuff up on Blankets Creek and all that stuff. It's just wild what's happening in Georgia. Because when I lived there, it was just like, oh, mountain biking. You know, whatever. Here's a few little trails over here. Here's a few little things over here. And it's like, I remember like you guys, Igor, and a bunch of them going to ride Pine Mountain and stuff like that. It was like, shh, don't say anything about Pine Mountain. You know, a bunch of rake and ride stuff. It was like, I moved here and I'm like, what the hell's going on in Georgia? Like, why couldn't this be going on while I was living there? So it's exciting that all that's there and it's going to be there when I get back. So that's cool.
I think we take it for granted, man, because like now you go to Pine Mountain on a Saturday and it's like it's packed out as Jared's, dude. Like it's hard to find a parking spot, and you got all these like mountain bikers on e-bikes, like on these what used to be loamers, and now they're full blown like they're worked downhill trails. Yeah,
Jeez.
it's pretty gnarly. Speaking of that, a little side note on that project in Atlanta. I actually was at the brewery celebrating for Mother's Day in Smyrna, the new Still Fire.
Okay.
And I saw a Mr. Josh Camp roll up on a bicycle, so I chatted with him for a bit, and he was actually just showing somebody that new place. And dude, he was talking to me about it, and it's supposed to be bigger and better than God, what's the place in Rogers Rail Yard? Rogers, Arkansas.
Oh wow.
He said it's going to be bigger, better, more money into it than Rail Yard, and way more fun. So, and he was showing me some pictures of some of the features that are on the way to that place to get installed right now, and it's going to be insane. Like I can't believe that's coming to our area.
That's gonna be
to
huge.
have something like Bentonville. Yeah, it's going to be insane.
That's really
cool. Be a bunch of
because
scooter kids all over it.
Yeah,
that's all right. I was looking, so I saw some preliminary plans that kind of came out, some of the drawings. Like I saw like a little dual slalom. I saw some of like kind of more pump tracks, which might be actual jump lines. And I was talking to a couple of my buddies, and there's been a lot of projects around Atlanta that they've been here for a number of years now. Like North Cooper Lake is one of them. There's a couple like I've seen. God, I don't know how many of. I'm just gonna call them the triangle pump tracks. Right? It's like two rollers corner, and it's like as soon as you get up speed to do anything, it's like nope.
Well,
Right?
this is why I bring up like mountain biking following BMX and skateboarding and stuff, is because there's all these little projects, and this is just from my experience working with Parks and Rec and stuff. They're all these park and rec departments wanting to develop this stuff are only thinking about the entry level rider, and I think that's great, having more stuff to get that gateway opportunity. But you can't forget about the progression of it too. I mean, if you only build little stuff everywhere, eventually people are going to get bored of it and they're not going to use it, and
they're going to boost something and they're going to get hurt. But
exactly.
Also, what we have, I think, with those particular groundworks is because I was always like stoked on it and then I was bummed. I was stoked on it and then I was bummed. But what I think they've done in Atlanta, and we'll shout out to MTB Atlanta on this, is I think they have set the groundwork and like proof of concept for these things to happen. And maybe with the financial donor that we've had, those little proof of concepts just sprinkled around Atlanta, maybe all of that together now has created the environment where we can have something that rivals rail yard. And I'll tell you, for years I was just like, man, these are fun. I'd go once, I'd go twice. I'm like, all right, whatever. But I think actually having that mountain bike infrastructure there, having these little spots where they've kind of been proof of concept, has allowed us to go to something of this magnitude. And having the quarry and having that space over on the west side, I am I'm absolutely pumped on it because as I said before, I've talked to a couple friends. We're like, "Oh man, it's going to be a bust, right?" But I don't know. Now that I'm hearing exactly what Kaysen has said, I was like, I always kind of had my fingers crossed, like behind my back. I was like, "Yo, these plans look pretty expansive. It looks like that's some big stuff." Because I've been over to that space and I saw it a few years ago, and I was like, "Man, this really does have potential."
Yeah.
So hats off to everybody making this happen.
From what I've seen in the photos that were shared with me, like you're talking about metal jumps, metal tunnels, like stuff like that, that is like Bentonville, that is going to be sick. And I think it's going to be fun for even folks like us that freaking shred, man.
Wow.
It's just wild to see that that's changed so much in Atlanta. And I think that's the challenge in Charlotte is behind in terms of like the actual municipalities. They want this stuff, but they're not really willing to spend the money on it. I mean,
Mhm.
it's been a headache for the last 4 or 5 years. I've been on the board with the Trailblazers, trying to get them to understand like this isn't just about mountain biking. This is about outdoor opportunity, preserving green space and stuff like that for future generations. And yeah, it is about mountain biking and cycling in general and stuff like that. But it's really weird to see Georgia, that was so stuck in its way for so long, now kind of be a leader in the Southeast of pushing for this kind of stuff and building these places up. And I'm going to, a lot of those Sorba chapters down there, I know it's a lot of work that they're doing as well to push this kind of narrative and
Yeah.
get them built. But it's just really refreshing to see that a state that fought BMX and skateboarding and any kind of this kind of alternative sport for so long really embrace it and build something like this. It's awesome. I love it.
All the little punks grew up. we got big boy jobs.
We got credit scores. We got disposable income. I know.
Oh
I
my
still feel
God.
like I'm a little punk. I'm gonna be 39 this year. Good Lord.
All right, heard that.
Absolutely ridiculous. So
All right. So what do you think, man? You came back, what, this past weekend or the weekend prior, whenever, to
a month
Jared's
ago.
place? Okay. A month ago. To Jared, what do you think about all the changes, man? Let's talk about your experience.
So I didn't really know what to expect. I've known Jared for a long time, and I know where his brain is at because him and I think very similarly when it comes to building stuff. Like, let's make it weird, let's make it funky. So riding like Rock Creek, Canoga, Rattlesnake, like we have those places, kind of close to where I live. I wasn't really ready for how big everything was at Jared's. There's nothing like that in North Carolina. Like those jumps are huge. And like, yeah, you've got the Red Bull jump at Rock Creek that's just absolutely huge and insane. I've not hit that thing because I'm old and my bones are brittle now. And I've seen people slam on that thing and I just have no interest. But like just riding through the normal jump lines, then hitting air supply, I was like, good Lord, this is no wonder these kids in Georgia are getting so good so quick. Like this place is insane. And then even like the technical stuff, it's like everything's here. Like you didn't miss anything. You want, smoother wooden feature stuff, it's there. You want kind of rough techie stuff, it's there. You want to mix everything on one trail, it's there. I was blown away. I had an absolute blast and I was gassed by the end of the day. I don't even know how many laps we did, and I was just beat down. I rode like crap the entire day. I was just barely hanging on, but it was absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait to ride that place again.
So you're a jib master. So what'd you think of Blue Monkey?
Didn't ride it.
No?
I didn't ride it.
There you go.
I was with my buddy JJ and my buddy Peter, and they kept wanting to hit air supply and breadsticks and stuff over and over and over again. And I was fine with that because again, I felt like crap. I drove down the night before, got in late. I mean, I was just I was tired and I've been feeling like crap recently, just working too much, just working myself into sickness every week, it seems like. Also, 1-year-old, you're sick all the time. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ride it, but I was like, man, I really don't want to just pedal up the hill.
Yeah.
I just kind of want to just cruise down the hill. Like it was late in the day too. And they're like, what about Blue Monkey? I was like, I'm good. I'll hit it next time. But from what I've seen, I've got plans for that trail. I'm already
Nice.
plotting in my head what I want to do.
I was gonna say, dude, like that has Matt Stahl written all over it, man. Like that trail was made for you, man.
I still want somebody to build me a big dirt quarter pipe somewhere. Like that's what I want to ride. Is I just want either a dirt lip or a wood lip where you can go left or right. I just want a dirt quarter pipe somewhere, because I have done on my score that I had. I built kind of a fly out quarter thing in Charlotte. I can't tell anybody where it is because I'll get a lot of hell for it. But I was trying 540s. I tried flares for a little bit. And it didn't quite work. The flares didn't work for me. I guess I'm just too big. But the 540s worked. But I'd really like to take my long travel bike and just blast a dirt quarter and do a 540. I think that'd be super fun. But yeah,
Nice.
the jibby stuff is definitely fun. I would also like to see a sub rail somewhere where you can go up and like tire tap over it and do some stuff. I don't know. I'm a dirtbag BMX rider at heart, and I just want to do the same shit on big bikes and make people.
Dude, I like the
their heads
Jib
like,
Ninja stuff, man. I like that style. That's cool.
how the hell did he do that? I don't know. He rode BMX for 25, 30 years. That's how.
I have a proposal for Jared's place. Instead of making all these hips to slow us down, how about we throw a dirt quarter pipe in there?
That'd be sick.
Or make
So,
the hips
kid-
bigger, make us faster.
Yeah,
Make
true.
it bigger.
Make it bigger.
Yeah, make it
Did
huge.
you,
Make it a step up.
Did you peep Cindy Crawford at all?
I did. And as soon as I peeped it and we were going to head back up to ride it, I watched a guy absolutely annihilate himself on it. I was like, that's bad juju. I don't think I'm going to ride that today. I'm going to hit that when I come back.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has your name written all over it too, man. That's like big BMX jumps for mountain bikes.
It's really well built.
And when I came down, I made the mistake. I drove my WRX, which is a manual, and I was like, if I hurt myself, if I hurt one of my legs, I can't drive this car back. I'm just kind of stuck here, you know. So I was being a little timid that day, but it's all
100%.
good. Cindy Crawford has got my name written all over it, and when I get back down there and I don't have to worry about a 5-hour drive home, I will definitely tear that trail up.
Yeah,
So.
and I know, myself included, the only problem with that trail was the first jump, and they have since fixed the first jump. So, the first jump was a little bit poppy for the speed you had.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's kind of unpredictable. And they since in the last 2 weeks ago, they mellowed that lip out. So it is like the trail top to bottom is money.
Yeah.
And
How about the drainage on the after the first lander?
can't speak for that. I think you're still gonna go mud bogging if it rains.
Yeah. If it's wet, don't mess with that second lip if you push wide, because I've found out that it's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That trail is so like, for being kind of intimidating and gnarly, it is easy.
Mellow.
And the last 3 jumps are way easier now too. They actually just completely replaced the creek gap takeoff. So the first wooden kicker out of the 3 is now a new lip, and it's way mellower, so you can actually like gain speed going into the last 2, which is really cool.
I mean, looking at the video of people riding it, I think it's got a good parallel to that giant jump line at Rattlesnake Bike Park, Waimea. They're huge, they're intimidating looking, but as soon as you ride them, you're like, oh, these actually kind of feel small because they're built right, they flow right, you know.
That's actually perfect because I'm on your Instagram. I have Rattlesnake videos pulled up, and so I was going to ask you. I've never made it out to Rattlesnake. I've kind of heard so things about it. So what's your takeaway?
It's small. Like there's not much elevation. The runs are short, but I will say I have never once had a bad session out there.
Okay.
Don't go into it being like, oh, it's going to be like Jared's place. No, it's not like that at all. It's a much more, I'd say, mid-level rider kind of experience. Like Waimea, those jumps are big. Like they're big and they're tricky. I think I'm the only person to be able to get through that jump line without having a pedal. And that's just because I boost everything as high as I can. Just pump as hard as I can, trying to get as much speed as possible. Venom, the other trail that's got the wood drop, Venom's gnarly. Like those wall rides, they're not quite built right. So when you pop off that lip, you just smash into the wall, and it's rough. Like I've only done the first one because it's my side. The one that's further down, it's on my opposite side. I haven't even touched it because it's like, all right, this one's lined up even worse. I'm just going to use this as a giant hip and just blast tabletops on it the entire time. So I haven't really played around with that one too much. And that one's kind of built in a weird area, so it's always kind of wet and spongy. So the speed's always off. I also broke a
Okay.
frame on that trail and blew up a shock. But the rest of the place is fun. Like 50 Shades of Clay is a really fast, really fun flow trail with some jumps. All the little techie stuff is really fun. Mad Hatter is their other kind of medium-sized jump line. When that thing's groomed and running, it's, I would say, probably one of the most fun jump lines in the Southeast. It's not that the jumps are
Nice.
that big. It's not that it's super technical, but there's like shark fins, step downs into huge sweeping berms. It's just one of those trails like you can kind of turn your brain off and just flow through it. And in your head, it's like, yeah, it's like dirt surfing. Like it's awesome. It's super, super fun. So I think it's a little expensive for what it is. They do have plans to add more to it, but I think it's a really great place that's 45 minutes south of Charlotte. You can go for a day, you can get a million laps in, drive home and not feel like you got completely run over by a truck, like unless you go like Rock Creek. Rock Creek, you do 10 laps, you're done. Like your bones hurt. You know, those long descents and it's just chunk the whole way and you're just blasting through it. Like I dread the drive home after going to Rock Creek. But Rattlesnake, you can go do, I think I've done 42 laps in a day with a few beers in between and drove home. I was like, this is great. I feel fine. And mowed the lawn when I got home.
There you go.
So if you get a chance, I would say definitely go. It's a lot of fun. You'll have a blast, but just go into it with an open mind and don't expect a whole lot, and just ride it. It's a good time.
Heck yeah. I saw another post. You went over to Wildside, it looked like. Was
Ooh,
that
yeah.
recent as well?
That was last September. Yeah, that was
Okay,
last year.
so
Yeah, that
okay.
was September-ish. Dude, Wildside, they got something going on over there. That place is fun. Have you guys been?
I have.
Yeah. I
So we had different experiences.
Oh, man. I
So
enjoyed it. I broke my big bike while I was there because I overshot everything on the black line to flat, and I blew up a rear shock. And
what was the black line at the time you rode?
well, they didn't have the downhill course open, so the black
Uh-huh.
line's like right when they dropped you at the top of the hill. It was the
jump
one
line.
right. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, the Void or something like that, or
I know it's to your left when they drop you. It's like
yeah.
it's the. I'm gonna go ahead and say it, the only fun trail there.
I don't know if that was open when I was there.
So I'm
Do
gonna.
what?
I don't know if they had built that.
Probably not. I don't think it was built
Yeah.
like we went Ross.
It has the
Because
giant
Dolly's
wooden-
Curbs was like the hardest trail that was open when I was there, and they were still working on those big bottom kickers.
Yeah,
That wasn't open.
trail armor now on it, and it's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So I will say, when the big bike was working before I overshot it and blew it up, I was a little bored at first, but I had my 5010 with me, which is a little 130 travel bike. If you ride Wildside on a short travel bike, it changes that place. It is a completely different experience, and it is way more fun. And I was still hitting all the bigger stuff there too. Like I hit the little techie trails. Like I think I rode every trail there. And I had an absolute blast because on that little lightweight super poppy, because I've got that 5010 set up like a BMX bike, like you guys probably wouldn't even be able to compress the suspension on that thing.
Diff.
Yeah. Well, big guy. So I was hitting stuff that I was making hips out of stuff that weren't hips. I was doing little like all kinds of other jibby stuff on. I was like, okay, this is way better. So if you go again, don't take a long travel bike. Take a short travel bike with you, and it'll change your opinion of the place real quick. It's a lot more fun.
Nice. Nice. I'll take both for sure. We went, it was when Leah and I went, it was early days. It was probably maybe over a year ago. I forget exactly, but yeah, they were still working on, as Kaysen kind of dubbed it. He set my expectation up real good for it. He was like, it's not wild side, it's mild side. And that was kind of like where we kind of sat like in the early days of it. Like the facility was freaking amazing. Love like the little bike barn, their shop, all like the progressive drops that they had with the kickers. Like I think that what they had set up, the groundwork was awesome. When I got on the trails, I was like, all right, first of all, like when I got out there, it was still like really chunky. Like they were just like a bunch of like big rocks. Just this, it wasn't like loose over hard, but it was just like big chunk that was just kind of in the way. And
Yeah.
I think since then they've done a lot of work to really machine a lot of that stuff out, or hand done a lot of that, and they've added a lot of just higher level trail
Yeah.
since I've
It was
been
still a
back, and I
little
know they've
chunky.
had some races and everything there. So I'm excited to get back there and go check it
Yeah.
out
It was
now that
still a
they've
little
done a
chunky when
lot
I
more
went.
work.
I mean, there were still areas that were a little blown out and whatnot. The thing when I went though is I would not recommend September, October because acorns. Holy
Yeah,
crap, the amount of acorns that were on the trail. And I remember I kind of got lost and I took one of the green trails, and you can go pretty fast on some of those green trails. And I came around this corner and then there's this straightaway and I almost fell off the trail, and it's a pretty big, fall on that left side, but I drifted probably 15 feet just sideways going straight on the acorns. I'm like, oh my God, like, what is this? I looked down, I was like, holy shit, like, this is going to kill somebody. I was just surfing the whole time on acorns. It was wild. It was fun though. I enjoyed it. I'd go back. I don't think I'd go out of my way to make that my whole trip. It would definitely be part of a bigger trip, but it was fun.
Well, yeah, I think it was definitely like for the amount of driving, and like making it a whole weekend thing. I was pretty bored of it. I got pretty bored of it the first day, honestly. And they're good, but like, dude, at the time, like I was working 2 or 3 days at Jared's, riding Jared's 2 or 3 days out of the week, every single week. So it's like going from that to then riding essentially what I thought was dwelling in Van Michael downhill.
Yeah.
Uh, it was like, I don't know. They're fun. That big black jump line was a good time. I had a blast on that freaking poppy bridge jump. You can kind of like just float
Oh,
over.
that's cool.
That thing is sick. Um,
That's where I blew up my shock is I overshot that.
yeah, it's kind of gnarly, dude. I was just riding there. I had nobody. It was just my fiance and I just saw this random dude. I was like, hey, can I just follow you for speed into this thing? And I did the same thing, dude. I overshot it probably like halfway down, and it was brutal. I thought my ankles were toast.
Oh yeah. I got to the peak of jumping that thing and I was just like, oh shit. I'm at the end of the
Yeah,
line already. I just
it's pretty.
I grabbed both brakes just to try to get the bike to drop a little bit. And it was like, all right, well, either I'm going to blow up or the bike's going to blow up. And I just
Yeah,
flapped. I mean, and my bike's a 170 travel. And it's, again, all my suspension is firm on my bikes. I did not expect to just shatter basically a Cane Creek Kitsuma air shock because those have been pretty bulletproof for me. And I blew it up.
What
I
is
don't
what
think
is your big bike?
a big bike is a Noli chill coat. Yeah. So I got a 170 rear. I've actually got multiple shocks and setups for that thing, but it's a 180 fork, 170 rear shock. I've got some other stuff for it, but I love that bike. It's really the only bike I trust. It's definitely built for big guys.
Hell yeah!
So
And then what's your short bike? It's a 5010.
5010. And then I got an e-bike as well recently. I got one of the Cannondale Moterra SLs. That thing rips. I love that thing. I just don't ever really ride it unless I'm doing trail work.
Got it.
So, but that thing's fun.
yeah. The Wildside is good. They had a lot of money put into it. Like honestly, like the structure and everything is sick. Like
It's a
the
good
shop.
facility.
Yeah. Even the road going up there, all I do is roast this place. I'm sorry, guys. But the only other complaint I have is it takes way too long to get to the top. Like I
On the
understand.
shuttle?
Yeah, it's just the road is smooth, like I understand, but dude, the
You
amount
didn't
of
have the
time it's
driver I had.
Yeah, no, I did not. This guy
The
was
driver
on.
was whipping that thing up that road.
No, I didn't have that. No, it took forever to get to the top. And I just don't think you get paid off for the descents you get. It makes sense. Like honestly, though, like Wildside is for the people that are visiting Gatlinburg.
Mhm.
Like, oh, you can ride mountain bikes. Okay, let's go here for the day, kids. Like, I get it's that type of vibe. I just wish there was like a little bit more. And honestly, I wish I could have rode that downhill course, because that looks sick.
I did get to touch the downhill course, which was nice. And yeah, it's fast. It's really fast. It's really technical. That's how I feel like the rest of that place should be given the name. I think that right there, that one trail should be called Wildside, because the whole time I was just, face was peeling back. My hands were just glued to the bars. I mean, white knuckle the whole way. That was a gnarly trail. So that was fun.
Yeah,
Killer.
it's definitely. I think they have like the tallest zip line or the longest zip line. I don't know. They have something that's pretty crazy. So
Dude,
that's
when you
that
look
for
up
that.
from the shuttle drop and see it, it's massive. It's like over a mile.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
insane.
No, thank you. I'm 265 pounds. I don't trust that shit.
It'll be the first one down.
Nope. I will never go down.
Matt, have you ever hit Amish country at Jared's?
No, that was one of them that we were gonna do. But it was like the run that we were gonna go up and do that. I started cramping really bad. I was like, I'm calling it right here, because I know what happens if I keep pushing it. So
Mhm.
that one's high on my list. I mean, I only hit like half the trails there, so I need to get
a
back
lot to
soon.
ride.
I'm just dreading the Georgia heat.
That's one of those trails that, like, you just reminded me talking about the downhill course at Wildside. Pretty recently, this year, actually, I got towed into the big drop on Amish, and I was pretty blown away with the speed that you have to have going into it. Uh, when I was following Josh and Will, they were like, just hold our wheel, just hold our wheel. And the section, you're like off camber, like full tilt, like I'm like coming out of an off camber corner, and you are like standing up cranking still, and you're the hardest gear possible to even get close to hitting that drop. And just like the amount of speed going into that section, I was like, it's probably the fastest I've ever rode outside of like Whistler Trails, a big
Yes.
feature. Like, it was pretty
Is
wild.
that the one with the road gap into the wooden drop? Are you talking about?
Oh, like the drop down right hander.
And then you hit the right hander. It's off camber up to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that road gap is sizable.
dude. And you gotta like, you're hauling. Like, you don't have a choice.
I mean, because even the drops coming into that are like, I haven't cleaned that whole section. I haven't eyed it up yet.
It's gnarly.
I looked at it, but
it's super gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's supposed to be their downhill course, so obviously, but it's brutal. Yeah, I was just blown away by the speed going into that drop to the right hander, and then you're still cranking to get the speed for that. Pretty wild.
That was the thing, Jared, that kind of blew me away, was just the speed of everything there is just pinned the entire time.
Yeah, you're hauling the mail.
So
it always does feel, to me, it's all safe feeling though. Like, I'm never in a situation at Jared's where I'm like, I feel something isn't gonna be right for my ability, you know?
Yeah.
As long as you're confident in your skills, I feel like everything there, you're like, all right, I'm good.
Well, that trail armor too, that stuff, that's a freaky feeling, because on Air Supply, you hit that really fast downhill section right before those last few jumps. My buddy I was riding with, he was going ahead of me. He's like, dude, we hit 55 miles an hour on that. I was like, really? He goes, yeah, look. He pulled his GPS up. I was like, okay. But it's the weirdest feeling, because usually, like in North Carolina, there's no trail armor or anything. So anything that's fast, it's loose. It's just you're holding on, and you're praying that you don't hit something that causes you to lose grip. On that, my brain was going, all right, hang on tight. Okay, don't lose grip. And then the rest of me is like, wait a minute. There's carpet underneath me. You're Velcroed to this thing. Like, oh wait, there's grip for days. It was this weird thing going on in my head the whole time. I was fighting to maintain grip, but the grip was there. And then by the time I realized the grip was there and I trusted it, I was already on another feature, and it was I rode like crap the entire time I was there. So it is what it is.
The trail armor is weird, and at first you definitely aren't used to it. But once it gets kind of worked in and packed and rode, it's just like riding anything else for sure.
Yeah. No, it was great. I loved it. I had a great time on that stuff, and definitely I took some liberties of letting stuff hang out a little bit longer and holding a table a little bit longer. And because it's like, okay, I know if I even come up a little bit sideways or something, I'm not going to slide out. I'm not going to get whipped. So it was nice. I enjoyed that stuff, but I can't wait to ride that place more. The more comfortable I get with that, I'll get looser and start taking limbs off the bike and spinning and doing stupid stuff. I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Once you move on back, dude, you'll be up there every weekend. I'm sure of it, man.
I don't know about every weekend. I got other stuff going on too. So, but I'll be up there a bunch.
Jared's needs a daycare, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Daddy daycare weekend. You drop your kids off. Somebody's there to take care of the kids. Dads go ride. That'd be great.
I don't know if you want those types of folks. I don't know if us riders should be taking care of kids, dude. I don't know who would be in charge of it, but
I'm raising a kid, if that says anything.
Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it, dude.
I mean, I've gotten soft
stuff.
in my old age, and I'm not as wild as I used to be, but it's still I still do crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I'd say that's the weirdest part about this whole thing is I'm creeping on 40. I've got a kid, but every single time I'm at a bike park or riding or something, like I've always got these crazy ideas in my head of stuff I want to do, and I want to push it more. I want to do more of this, and I tried something a couple weeks ago at Airline that I thought was going to work, and I got completely blown up and was like, okay, I got to dial it back just a bit, or else something bad's going to happen. But I don't know.
Check yourself.
I need the young guys to step up and start being the ones to test everything and make sure shit works. I'm tired of being the test pig for everything.
Yeah, dude. I tried, dude. I tried. I always end up in the hospital, man. I tried.
Well,
dude,
yeah, you do.
You got to ride more BMX.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is, dude.
I just remember what happened. That was wild, dude.
Yeah, that was
years ago. That was wild.
10-second Tom over there, dude.
Jeez, keep your head off the ground, man.
That's the goal, right? Now at least I got good noggin protection. Now I don't skimp out on that.
Yeah, what, with that mullet on the back of your head? Is that the noggin?
Yeah, yeah.
Style points.
Well, cool, dude. I know you got to run here shortly. I wanna say congratulations to Ken Roxon before I get off this podcast for wrapping up a championship. Man, that was crazy. I was about brought the tears out of me, man, on Saturday night watching him win a championship, dude. Through everything he's been through. And it's wild for him to wrap that up. Sorry to Hunter, but Hunter's got another damn fucking 10 years of riding.
Oh yeah.
Kenny deserved it, man.
Kenny deserved it, that's for sure.
So good to see. Maybe I'll sell a Suzuki when I get to the store tomorrow. We'll see.
They're gonna be going like hotcakes.
Do what?
They're gonna be going like hotcakes now.
Hotcakes, man. Kickstarters and everything. They're gonna be flying off the show.
So good deal. Well, appreciate you guys having me on. Let's do this again.
Let's do it, dude. 100%, man. Safe travels, and hopefully we'll see you soon here in the old South, man. You'll be back with the guns and freedom.
Guns and freedom. Oh man.
Well, hey, and hey, Matt, before you go as well, if people do want to follow, like, let's say the bike shop, if they want to follow you, get you on the socials, hit us up with where we can find what's going on with you and what's going on with the shop and all that good stuff.
Heck yeah, I'll get you guys that info.
No, just tell all the viewers, man. Let them know.
Okay. So on I don't do TikTok because I'm old. So it's just Instagram. I think at Matt Squatch 87. There's an underscore between Matt Squatch and 87, and then it's just at Bicycle Sport Charlotte is the shop. You'll find us on there. You see all the crazy bikes that we build. And
what about Airline?
Airline, it's just at Airline Bike Park. Tar Heel Trailblazers, again, at Tar Heel Trailblazers. You can go on their website, tarheeltrailblazer.com. Yeah, that's been fun. I'll be down there and digging with you guys hopefully soon. Make some
Dude,
stuff
right
happen.
on, man.
Well, thanks for coming on, brother, and thank you everybody for listening, man. Such a good podcast. Glad we got a little bit of the Charlotte, North Carolina scene in here and some BMX stuff. I don't know if we had any BMX history guys on the pod yet, so this is good, man. Talk about
Let's
a little
do
bit
another
about
one
some
and dive into it
lawnmowers.
more.
Do what?
Let's do another one. We can dive into that stuff more. I got plenty of BMX stuff for you.
Yeah, maybe
Dude,
we'll do
we'll have a
BMX
Peachtree
pod.
City reunion, man. I grew up as a kid riding down there. I never raced down there, but I rode down there a good bit. So yeah, we'll have to do a little reunion down there and get on some nice manicured dirt jumps, some slurry.
Not much down there anymore.
Yeah.
You kind of threw a name at me, man. I kind of want to reach out to old Zach Kring and get him on the pod.
Oh, do it.
Yeah, he would be a good one.
Certified wild man.
Wild man. Yeah. Wild man. All right,
All right.
brother. Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Matt.
We'll see ya.
Peace.
Before we wrap this up, huge thank you to the brands that make Ridin The Line possible. Big thanks to Specialized Bicycle Components. From trail bikes and EMTBs like the Levo platform to road, gravel, helmets, shoes, and some of the best tires in the game, they're not just building bikes. They're building the full ride experience. Whether you're racing, training, or just chasing better days on the trail, Specialized has it dialed from top to bottom. Check them out at specialized.com. Shout out to CTS Media. Websites, photography, videography, and marketing strategies for brands that actually want to grow. If you're serious about leveling up your business, head to ctsmedia.org. Appreciate Shred It You're On. Innovative jersey solutions that let you run a GoPro or action cam straight through the jersey while keeping your sponsors visible. Built for riders who create. Check them out at shredityourOn.com. And big thanks to Gutter Getters, keeping homes dialed so you can stay focused on riding. We appreciate all of you supporting the sponsors and who support the show. We'll see you on the next one.